Welcome back to the 12 Talk podcast. My name's Josh. This here is Mitch. We've been away for a long time. I shouldn't have left you. That don't beat to step to. I'm really sorry. Life gets in the way. But we're back with what we're calling our Raiders review. We're going to be talking all about the Raiders game. We've got winners and losers about that game. We're going to be talking about some training camp news as well. There's been a lot of it going along. We're going to be talking as well about Tory Horton, because he needs to be spoken about right now. And then we will start talking about this upcoming game against the Chiefs. And we're going to get to your questions and comments at the end of the show. Mitch, should we hit the music?
Let's do it.
God, I've missed that intro. It seems like it's been too long, mate. Too long.
It has been.
With that, it has been. I mean, for those people who aren't in our Discord, if not, why? You can join. It's quite easy. Mitch will pop the link in the comments as well, so you can just click on that, come and join us, keep chatting to us, even when we're not live on air. How have you been, Mitch? How is life over there?
Doing really good, actually. Lots of positive things happening. I've quit the vape, so I'm a nicotineless man.
Oh, I wish I could.
Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't trying to make you feel bad. But no, feeling really good on that. Work's going well. New lady in my life. Everything's going pretty good, and we've got football back.
Oh, amazing, isn't it? It's so good. I know. Well, I've been off gallivanting DJing music festivals. I did Why Not Festival in Derbyshire, where I DJed the VIP and the Hog and Barrel, and I was just out of action for days after that because I couldn't talk, so there was no way I was doing a podcast. It's summer holidays here in the UK, so my wife and I have been juggling childcare, so I took my daughter out on the road with me yesterday to meet some holiday parks and hand out some leaflets. She was extremely cute and very well mannered, so I was quite happy with that. And now I get to do one of my favourite things, which is podcast with my podcasting partner in crime.
Hey,
how good is that? I mean,
we're
a bit late to the party.
We got actual football stuff to talk about because there's been a game. So good.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. I mean, we're a bit late to the party when it comes to reviewing the Raiders game, so I'm pretty sure everyone's listened or watched enough podcasts about it. So we'll gloss over it and some of the highlights. We'll go through some of the winners and losers that we thought from that game as well. If you are new to this pod, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this pod. We want more 12s to be involved. And if you want to join us on the pod for a game review this season, slide into our DMs. Not in a seedy way, because I will block you.
I mean, you can. But it's not going to get you any advantages. But
I'm a married man. I'm sorry, I'm off the market now. But we're more than happy to have any of you guys on. We're a pod by 12s, for 12s, with 12s, a UK Seahawks official podcast, and we want you guys to come on here with us. So, without further ado, shall we start talking about the Raiders game, the first preseason game of the year, ended 23-23, a draw in preseason. It's times like this where I wish we had overtime.
I do and I don't. Honestly, the result of a preseason game does nothing for me. If we'd have come out of that game winning by 2 scores, dominating it points-wise, but we didn't have some of those great performances we had from the second and third string players, the guys we've just drafted. If we came out of it with injuries, I'll take the draw, mate. I'll take the draw with the performances we had and the lack of injuries any day.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I quite like the preseason because I like seeing these unsung heroes from training camp, and we'll get into some of them as well.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see some of the backups, get some reps. And even if they don't stay on our squad, they put themselves right in the shop window for another team who may want to pick them up. I mean, looking at the game, what was your opinion? Let's start with you, Mitch. Well, what did you think of that game overall?
The game itself, or the way that the roster was used? I mean, there's a lot of ways to go at this.
Give us it all. Let's smash through this and get into some of the more present news.
Okay, my take. Pete turned up wanting to win. The Seahawks are the only team in the NFL he's never beaten. Still the case, by the way. So he's never beaten us. It's not usual for starters to play Q1 the first quarter of a game in preseason that early in the preseason. This is usually an exercise of trotting out the full 93 of the roster. 93 or 91? Am I being stupid? It's 93. Who picked the number 93? No, it's 90. Sorry, it's 90.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's full 90. Yeah, it's the main roster plus the bin juice that won't make the roster. They just hold tackle bags. Yeah,
that fine festering beverage bin juice. So you usually trot out the full roster, get a good look at players in pads in competitive scenarios, and you use that to bring the starters on an away trip to the far corner of the country. That showed that someone turned up trying to win that game, right? We didn't bend to that or adapt. We just stuck to what we wanted to do, which was get the young lads out there, all of our draft picks out there, get some tape, and we didn't lose that game. So I think there's an awful lot of credit to be dished out to a lot of individual players, but also to the coaching staff for not wavering on whatever they'd planned and sticking to their guns and not, because the only people that lose there are those inexperienced young players who might have got 25, 30 snaps in a game and instead got 10, 15 because we tried to win it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think from Pete's point of view, it was going back onto his old turf, wanting to win. And I think he's probably set on who's going to be in his 53-man roster anyway. So he went in there, and then you had the likes of Max Crosby out there, getting blocked by our rookie fullback.
I was about to say, was Max Crosby out there? I don't seem to remember seeing him.
Oh, Robbie Hughes remembers.
Robbie Hughes, yeah. The streets of Seattle remember, and Robbie Hughes remembers. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm kind of with you. It's as much as I enjoy preseason for seeing all these what could be a hidden gem. It's a bit meh. I don't get the whole trotting out your starters. I know you might be desperate to win, but if you've just taken over a franchise, you want to see that whole roster depth,
top to bottom.
And I think from Pete's point of view, he's coming back to Seattle. He's got Geno who's coming back to Seattle. He's got Jamal Adams, who we'll get onto later as well. Coming back to Seattle, and they wanted to get a win just to prove that by leaving Seattle, they're still doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
But are they really? Time will tell. Time will tell. So when we look at the game, were there any obvious highlights for you?
Well, without name dropping people that I want to talk about later in our winners losers kind of segment, I think one of the highlights for me was probably the depth of quality that we have in some of the rooms, the running back room, the wide receiver room. They really do look packed full of not just talented young players, but more importantly, players that are going to fit the system that we're putting out there. I love to see round pegs in round holes with ages of sort of 20 to 24, because if the coaching staff stick with this style of football, these are young players that can grow and become real specialists in what we do. And I'm kind of glad to not see players like Marquez Valdes-Scantling out there showing out, potentially taking snaps off some of the young guys that are really on display at the moment. So And nothing against MVS. I see him as the elder statesman that doesn't necessarily need to command a roster spot when we cut the squad down to 53.
Yeah, I agree. We said it all last season. So Mike Mack inherited the majority of a squad from Pete, and a lot of it was square pegs, round holes for what he wanted to do, and he made the best out of it. Unfortunately, offensively, he had a offensive coordinator who just didn't want to make the best out of anything, or attack anything that was deemed as a strength for us. I think this squad, especially with these draft picks, is really starting to form a nucleus that, like you said, going forward will grow and evolve with this team. So even though the NFL is a copycat league, a lot of defenses are trying to copy what Mike Macdonald does, which just means that Mike Macdonald's going to keep pushing 1 or 2 steps ahead, which means these players will be the exact same, which I'm so excited to see. I mean, I know he's not in our winners and losers, but we saw flashes of Nick Emanwari to start with. You know, that weak side rush in, what was it, the first series? And I thought,
he nearly got home. Yeah.
I know. This close.
I know. I got excited for it as well. What a start that would be for him to sack the guy that used to play under center here in Seattle, just flatten him on the first drive.
Well, to him, he's a no one.
Nearly.
He wasn't here when Gino was here. So it's just like,
I've
just got my first sack against QB. Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's Gino, awesome. If it's not, doesn't matter.
I found the usage of Emanwari quite interesting. There doesn't seem to be something that we can expect from him. I think any given play, there will be an impactful role for him drawn up, which is kind of cool. But I've seen and heard the term positionless defensive weapon banded around too many times in this league, especially with day 1 and 2 picks, where people just don't seem to ever fully fall into a box of what the player is and what they excel at.
They don't have a wheelhouse. There's nothing that they can rest their hat on. It's just a matter of, well, he does everything well, but what does he do that is elite? Well, we don't know because he has to do so much stuff.
That's going to be exciting to see where he lines up play to play. I just do hope that is a means of getting him snaps, this year, and then a more defined, clear role forming for him once the game slows down for him. But either way, it's going to be exciting, and what a player to have on your roster. It's a very exciting time.
So good. I mean, I wrote a few notes. I'm now going to have to gloss over who's not a winner or loser. Rundy looks sound. Keeping Genty to what was a couple of yards, if that.
He was minus, I think. So on the night, he was minus.
I mean, that can be attributed to the fact he's a rookie trying to run behind grown men who have been in the league for a bit longer. But still, I'm going to take it as a win. Now, is Halani on your winners list?
He is.
Oh, okay. I'll gloss over that. There's 2 on my losers list. Oh, the use of Jake Bobo. So, Jake Bobo, as I can't even read my own writing. So as a final read. So there was one play, I think, where Drew Lock went through every single read and had nothing. Jake Bobo was there, ready to receive the ball. If that's going to be his role, perfect. Between that and the fake jet sweep, end around, whatever it was, I thought, oh my God, they're trying to get. I don't think I've ever seen one of those work in Seattle, and it was just nice to see Bobo involved. And he's one of those like training camp. Everyone absolutely loves Bobo. I sincerely hope he makes this roster again, because he's that Swiss Army knife. He blocks well. He's got safe hands. He's certainly a red zone threat when you look at his size as well. He's special teams. He'll happily go and lay the wood on someone. I think he's just been a big fan favorite. I like a lot of Bobo. More Bobo, please. Who else did I have? Oh, Sobert as well. Sorbet, whatever his name is.
You could go many ways with that name.
There you go. A good veteran tight end presence. His blocking was good. He made himself available as well as a receiving option. Really enjoyed that. Josh Jobe, cornerback 3. Is that a battle? Is that a three-way battle? I know we've got one of your winners, and we've also got Shaq Griffin, who's come back. But do you think it could be Jobe's?
I don't know. I don't know what the usage of Witherspoon looks like this year. It's really hard to say. CB3, CB4 on the depth chart. Depth chart.
Death chart. Death zone.
Well, it's the death zone. Yeah, I could have gone. I could have gone the entire season without saying that name. Yeah, it's really difficult to diagnose exactly what that depth chart is going to look like, and where Witherspoon sits on it, whether he is a perimeter corner or whether he is nickel, or wherever we deploy him. So, or in the slot. So who knows? I do think Shaq Griffin has kind of locked himself into that backup corner position. I think there will be times when he plays on one perimeter and Tariq Woolen plays the other, and Witherspoon plays in the slot or nickel. Like, I think that'll happen a lot. But behind that, there is now a clear defined role for Josh Jobe, Nehemiah Pritchett behind that. And I think we've seen enough from both players to feel like they will make the roster, and when called upon, they can make impactful plays. I do just feel there's a mistake in there. So I wouldn't necessarily want to see them leaned on too much in high stakes games against high quality opponents. But you can't pick and choose, and injuries will happen, and this is contact sport. So yeah, that's where I stand on those at the moment. But who knows?
I mean, shall we, before we get to our winners and losers, unless you've got any notable moments from the game you want to share with us?
I will give a shout out for anyone managing to get a big bear paw and a last minute field goal, which I think was Gaines, wasn't it? Was it Gaines that got his? Yeah, and that's so cool. Like, that's literally a walk-off moment as well, blocking a field goal that would have won the game in the way that he did as well, because he showed elite athleticism to get up, to get a hand on it against an extremely good kicker in this league. I thought that was a brilliant moment and a great shout out for Gaines on that one.
Oh, let's also not forget the what we spoke about off air, that Jalen Milroe wheel out to the right, escaping the sack, and just threaded the needle into double coverage to
Broden Jr. I think
that wide receiver that we're not going to see on the roster in the final 53. That one.
Keep making plays like that, and you might have more of a conversation. I think Milroe. I'll give another shout out to the yards that Milroe gained with his legs that never were. So he may well have. Wouldn't it be him drawing a flag? I think there was a hold on. Might have been a tight end. Thinking about it, can't remember. But yeah, there was a moment where I think it might have been his first scramble in the NFL, whether it's preseason or not, and it looked elite, and then it got brought back for a hold, which was soul destroying. But give a shout out here to the yards that never were for Jaden Milroe's legs.
Yeah, I like it. Well, before we get to our winners and losers, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Flying V Vintage Sports Clothing. Now, Flying V have been with us now for a couple of weeks. We're going to be working closely with them, and they are making a concerted effort to bring Seattle sports clothing to the UK and European fans at a very reasonable price. So here's just a couple of examples of what they got. A lovely Mariners jersey there. If only I was a bit skinnier, I would 100% have that. I did wear my Sean Kemp basketball jersey at Why Not. I got a couple of compliments from it. I thought, thank you very much. So he's got jerseys coming in, and his newest piece here is the Seahawks training top there, which I did have a bygone time ago. But if you would like to shop at Flying V, the link is down in the description. And if you want to use code 12Talk, you'll get 20% off your order.
Huge.
20%. It's massive. I used it when I bought my Sean Kemp jersey because why not?
That's cheating. This is for that code's for the people.
It is for the people. It's for the fans, but we can use it as well. So yeah, have a look at them. The link for the website is down there. It's constantly being updated. Follow them on socials. They've got their Instagram, Facebook. It's brilliant. And like I said, they're making a concerted effort now to try and get as much Seahawks stuff as possible. Also, if you're tuning in now, thank you so much. If you could do me a quick favor, hit that like button there. I think it's about here. Helps with the algorithm, you see. The more people that like what we're doing, because I can see you all commenting and having your usual chats in the comment section. If you hit the like button, helps us massively. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, winners and losers. So Mitch and I have both got 3 winners each, and we've got 3 losers because we don't want to put too much of a negative spin on this. Do we start with the losers? And then or do we do like the SH1T sandwich? Do you want to do like 3 winners, losers, 3 winners? The old management technique of the turd sandwich.
Let's keep this simple. We've been out of the game for a few weeks. My brain is going to fry if we try and do anything too complex. Okay. Do you want to give me your 3 winners first, and then I'll do my 3 winners, and we'll do our losers?
I'd love to.
Right. Easy.
So my 3 winners, we've got the returning man, Tyreek Smith. I just thought he was everywhere. I thought he made an absolute nuisance of himself, and he looked electric off the edge, coming round tackles, some fantastic swim moves to get past people. I think he's really put his hand up there for a special team spot. Also, and I'll give him his full title, Mitch's guy, Mike Morris.
Mitch's guy. That's me.
Finally put his hand up and actually did some bits. He was fantastic as that big edge, rushing one-on-one with a left tackle. I thought even when they moved him inside, I think he had some fantastic he just ate up some space. He got through the line of scrimmage. Brilliant. I'd love to see Mike Morris be on this roster. I think we had this conversation in a previous pod. I want to see him do stuff. I really do, because I loved him at Michigan. As soon as you started sending me videos, I thought this guy would be good. And he's just not been able to put it together through injury and various other things. And finally, I am going to shout out Robbie Oots.
Yeah, I'm never going to get tired of it. I'm not going to get tired of the mustache. I'm not going to get tired of the Oots. So good.
Now, Cam, I'm just going to pull up a quick comment here as well from, where was it? Oh, I thought it was Armand Jonas who had put something up about Robbie Oots. Here we go. It's a long one, though. Robbie Oots for his soft hands at the last day of training camp. And he had 2 receptions and 8 snaps against the Raiders. Do you think he will be more than just a blocker? Yes. He blocked one of the best edge rushers in the game in Max Crosby, and he didn't even make it look like there was any effort in there. I thought he opened up some fantastic holes for the running backs. You look at some of Halani's runs. Most of those came off a wide zone where he was running behind Oots. And I just thought Oots, even though he may have not blocked him cleanly, he did enough to open up that wide space. I thought it was brilliant. I said to Mitch off air, I don't do player jerseys unless they're retired or, a legend. But I'm really tempted to get a Robbie Oots jersey. Really tempted.
I love that you do it for a fullback as well. Although your fullback's never going to command a huge amount of money, right? So there's a good chance they stay on the roster. So there is some solid logic, but I think you just like the fancy name and the fact that he'd probably become like a cult hero for Seattle.
Do you know what I love? As an ex-player of a contact sport, I love anyone who revels in physicality. And in one of his interviews, when they said, would you rather be handed the ball and score a touchdown or block for your teammates to score a touchdown, he said block all day. Mm-hmm. I just want to block people. That is a mentality that we need on this team, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the mustache. I can't grow one myself, so I live vicariously. I'm here for the blocking. I'm here for him catching balls at the backfield. Just everything. Robbie Hughes.
Living vicariously through Robbie Hughes' top lip. I love it.
I live vicariously through your beard. I used to live vicariously through your long hair. That's what I've got to do now. Go on. What are your three?
I want to do Greg Zabel first. I think everyone wants to see a fast impact from our first round draft pick from this year, and I think everything you saw that night against the Raiders will have helped. I think the great thing about the starters playing for the Raiders is that Greg Zabel actually got some tape now against elite level NFL players, and I know it doesn't completely eliminate all the that's not criticism, but observation of the level of opponent he played against in college. But actually now you can say, well, he looked really good at the Senior Bowl. He looked really good now in pads against the Raiders' starting defensive lineman, and he was incredibly. I mean, you know what you get with Zabel anyway. He's tenacious. If he gets his claws into you, they stay in. Like he is someone who will maul you to the floor.
He had a pancake as well.
He did have a pancake block as well. Yeah. So we saw what we wanted to see against the caliber of player we needed to see it against. And I think 0 pressures allowed, 0 sacks allowed. The PFF grade, which I think overall was like an 83, 84, with a really high run blocking grade. Big winning day for Greg Zabel, and I hope he stacks another big day against Kansas City on top of that and really gets confident, because he'll be a leader on this offensive line for years, in my opinion.
100%.
So that's my big winner. I'm going to mention George Halani. I think last year watching George Halani in preseason, I think a lot of people will have looked at that and thought he was a bit unlucky not to have featured more in our season last year. I'm very pleased we still have him on this roster. He's a great example of why I love staying up to watch the preseason games, because there are gems on our roster like that who may not make the 53, but it's great to see them showcase how they got to here. Halani is a player I like to watch. I really like to watch. And I thought on the night he had some really, really eye-catching sort of burst plays, which, as you mentioned, often coming behind the blocking from Robbie Hughes. Halani just had a night, and I was really pleased to see it. But I will also give a special mention to the other running backs below him on the depth chart, because he wasn't alone in looking like an absolute world beater on the night from the RB4 position on the chart. So,
my notes on Halani. Halani is making this team. Now my guy Kenny McIntosh is out for the season. Halani is there as RB3, maybe RB4. I quite enjoyed his. I did put one thing. His cuts, fantastic. His power. He's got a very weird running action though.
It's a bit waddly, isn't it?
He's waddly, a bit flat-footed. I can't say anything because that's probably how I run on a rugby pitch. But I was watching it and I was thinking, you've got gas, but like that's a weird running motion. I liked how fearless he was running at the A and B gaps, even when they closed. Like, there's nothing there. He still went. It was like, right, this is my task, and this is one of the things that we had against Ken Walker last year, where he was just trying to go round the houses. He'd try and go somewhere, there's no gap, and I'll just run around for a bit and then take a hit for a loss. Halani just hit the gap. Whatever gap he was asked, he was committed to that, and it was so good to see. So I'm with you on that one.
Cool. Well, I think it's just a fun one, isn't it, for the fans? He's a really nice sort of diamond buried deep in this roster, and everyone, if he keeps playing like that, everyone will just love to see him get a chance. Hopefully not at the cost of an injury to RB1 or 2, because we've seen enough of that over the years. But yeah, love to see him get a chance.
So apologies, I'm having to adjust my headphones because this podcasting studio / office is so hot.
Fair enough. I'll let you off. Third player. Now I know Jonas is going to be in the comments telling me how wrong I am, but just roll with it, Jonas. All right. Nehemiah Pritchett. Now, I'm not necessarily high on the player right now. I think Josh Jobe is probably ahead of him. Shaq Griffin, Witherspoon, Woolen, obviously already ahead of him. But I do think that what he put on display that night against the Raiders was good enough to add a little bit more belief in his ability and his instincts to couple up with his athleticism and his physical advantages that were obvious when we drafted him. So I think he's starting to show, especially with how tidy that interception was. I think you can now start to see, okay, well, physical gifts, check, instincts, check, and then it's just playing at the right speed for the NFL level and playing that with confidence, because you can't be a step behind the play as a corner in the NFL. You will get roasted every time, unless you're Tariq Woolen, in which case you can give them 3 or 4 steps. But yeah, no, I thought he looked great on the evening, and I'm hoping we see a bit more from him, in the next 2 games.
Now, do we talk about your boy now? No, let's wait. We'll get through the losers, and then we'll have the conversation about Mr. Horton. So we picked 3 losers, and my first loser was Drew Lock, because Drew Lock is just got a Drew Lock. The interception that he tried to throw to Horton, just running down the sideline on a streak play, and it was awful. And I think at times he looked a bit undecisive. The commentary was saying how assured he looked and how much of a veteran, and I can't see it. I don't know if it's fact I can't bring myself to see it, but I just can't see it. And I think we had a conversation off air about Drew Lock's possible future, where I said midway through the season we may see Drew Lock going from QB2 to QB3. And then, Mitch, what was your comment?
Well, I basically said that if somebody's QB1 goes down this year and teams start looking around the league for players with starting experience that they could potentially trade for, Drew Lock, like the move he made to the Giants in preseason last year, he's a player who started NFL games. So he's a high-quality backup for us. In terms of that NFL experience, could well be that we get, a 6th round pick or a pick swap from someone who is requiring a QB. So could well happen if our own QB situation is healthy and we've got 3 fit ones on the roster. I could very much see Locke being moved on to a needy team. I think that's likely.
Just very quickly, Danny, this isn't my usual tipple. This is leftover festival beer. This is how you know that you went to a music festival, because all the good beer's gone.
Give us the product shot, Josh. What are you drinking? Show the people. Other beverages are available. There we go.
Don't judge me. But I'm on annual leave tomorrow, so I don't really care. Right. Go on. You had someone else that you thought was a loser in this game.
Yeah, I've got some losers. Let me have a quick scroll and see what I want to talk about first. Damian Martinez, I think. Did we?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Damian Martinez, I think, is an obvious loser in this game. And on a night where the offensive line actually looked like they were carving up some lanes for players to actually make some fairly easy 3 to 4 yard gains, he made it look really hard work. Genuinely, I think he made it look really hard work. And when you watch his tape in college and his productivity and everything, that surprises me slightly, because he does tend to run the hard yards and make those look easy. He did not in this game. So he's my number one loser coming out of that game. But I'd also weirdly.
Sorry, I thought I put my mic down there. No. So sorry, everyone.
It's the crackliest thing I've ever heard on a podcast. No, and yeah, I just think that Martinez made things look a little bit difficult. It did not. Let's just mute it. Yeah, I've lost my kilter completely here, but yeah.
So Martinez,
unfortunately, live.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I part of me is thinking, is it because he was behind sort of second string O line? Is it just him getting up to speed with playing against men rather than the college game, or was he just a bit overawed by the occasion? You know, where he was like trying to push something off and.
Sometimes players need to feel that rhythm. I've enjoyed that. I enjoyed this too. I think sometimes players need to get in a rhythm. Sometimes, especially with running backs, they need to have had the ball handed off to them 3, 4, 5 times, get a few yards to really get into their groove. It may well be that he's one of those that needs a few touches, and the whole preseason, here's your drive, and then you might not see the field again. That might just be a horrible fit for how he plays. But in reality, he was the worst running back of 5 on the night, and Jacardia Wright looked unbelievable as well. Genuinely, like Jacardia Wright looked like a veteran starter amongst 3rd or 4th stringers when he got the ball. So. That is exciting.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the comments to come in. Don't worry, there's no more. It wasn't crisps, it was blue tack. All right, I was trying to sort something out.
It was one of those grease-proof, papery kind of
see
layers. Okay, I got you. That is a noisy.
Wonderful.
That is a noisy material.
I thought I'd turn my volume down and everything. Just it's amateur hour. Sorry, you can tell we've been away for a while. Yeah. Right, so I think we both had a shared loser, didn't we? And they weren't even on the Seahawks.
Jamal Adams.
Step forward, Mr. Jamal Adams, Mr. Prez. Now, why was he your loser?
Well, because he doesn't want to play linebacker, and then he comes back to Seattle playing what position? Oh, yeah, linebacker. Yeah. I just and he had the nerve to. And he always will, because he's Jamal Adams. Don't get me wrong; I wasn't surprised by it, but the showboating and the the celebrating every little thing, and pumping his chest out to the fans while playing linebacker, having refused to play linebacker. So yeah, that for me was a little bit
for so long. I mean. It's facepalm territory where we said, I think last season, obviously when he was jettisoned and whatnot, if he'd moved to linebacker, he could have prolonged his career, because he had hands of stone, fit gloves full of, what was it, Mitch, you said? Carrots.
It plays like a man who's got gloves full of carrots. I think was my point.
Yeah. He's got fused fingers. He lost a step at safety, and when you look at how well he plays in the box, the logical step for him was to move to linebacker, but yet he was so vehement against playing there that he could have carved himself out another niche. Instead, he's gone to the Raiders. Pete Carroll sat him down and gone, "You are playing linebacker. There is no room in my safety room for you. You're going to be linebacker." And he's gone, "Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I could do that." Whereas I'm pretty sure those conversations happened in Seattle as well. And he just was like, "No." But yeah, he could have stayed in Seattle. He could have been a fantastic linebacker for us. But instead, he was jettisoned and went to the Titans to do nothing as a safety. And now he's gone to the Raiders to play linebacker. And I wish him well,
I don't hate it. He was one of my favorite players when we had him, and when he was playing well, and I just didn't really like the behavioural stuff. And there could be a good shout there for some damage with CTE and things as well down the line. There are some things said and some behaviours that I think are quite questionable. So I don't want to sort of vilify him there for that. But he became hard to like. I'll say that. I want to just give another loser slightly off the cuff here. One, the new technology for ball spotting was the first huge failure, because they put us on prime time in the first week of preseason and couldn't showcase their new technology because it's garbage. Closely followed by the ball spotting crew, who just seemed to keep just giving their best guess about whether something was a first down or not. That was mad to me. Some of those you could see on the replay got nowhere near, and they were like, "Yep, that's a first down." Like, really isn't. But sure.
It's baffling for a multi-billion-dollar entertainment organization like the NFL, how they can not have something to track where a ball lands is beyond me.
Well, that's it. We now do, right? But you wouldn't know it because the first primetime game of the preseason wasn't working.
Yeah.
So, love it.
Right. Do you have any more losers?
I could go on or leave him, but honestly, I don't want to be overly negative. The ones that I have mentioned, like Damien Martinez, genuinely, I believe that will look very different with slightly different scenario in a slightly different scenario. So, yeah,
that's fine. Well, before we start talking about your boy Tory Horton, I'd just like to remind everyone that we are the UK Seahawkers official podcast. I'm very proud of it too. Mitch and I are both card-carrying members. If you'd like to join the UK Seahawkers, it's £12 for individual membership, £20 for a family, or up to 4 at the same address. If you are outside the UK, it's £5 postage per membership for all the goodies that you get. You get access to social events. You get 10% discount at the Pro Shop. You could be eligible for game day field passes. You get access to members-only competitions, and there's an annual selection of goodies, such as these, displayed on Mitch's finest box.
Mitch's box.
There you go. It's making a comeback. So this year we got 2 coasters, both of which are currently being used for beer. You get your wristband, which we get every year, and we got a 21-year anniversary patch and your membership card. And with that, you could join this fine bunch that we all met in Glasgow. And that's not all of us. Some people can make it there. So keep an eye out if you do join for the next meetup. We'll hopefully be having a 12 talk meetup as well. We found a bar in Worcester which looks perfect for it. So keep your ears peeled, eyes peeled, ears open, join the Discord, and we'll let you know if that happens or when that's going to happen. But with that, Mitch,
Tory Horton,
let's talk your boy Tory Horton. Go on, wax lyrical. I'm going to sit back, not touch my volume or crackle any paper, but have my can of lukewarm festival beer.
Okay, well, I love Tory Horton. And I know there are people within our fan base that think I get carried away about Tory Horton. But if those people have now watched that preseason game, they will understand just a little bit more of why I like Tory Horton. And we didn't see him do any of the Tory Horton things that make me love Tory Horton. So I know there are gears and levels and skills and abilities that he has that you've not even seen yet. And people are already impressed. So I think Tory Horton looked phenomenally good for someone that had missed time at the end of last year. Someone that was coming into a new system, is a rookie. Rookie 5th round pick, or was it was 5th round pick? We took him, right? 4th or 5th, but I'm pretty sure he fell to the 5th. He looks streets ahead of the level at which we took him in the draft, which we knew because I told you January, December that I thought he'd be someone for us to look out at for 2nd or 3rd round, and we got him in the 5th. So yeah, I just thought he showed some really good route running, some really good hands, which we knew he had anyway. What was really cool was the situation we saw him playing in Q1 of that game. Those were the situations we're going to be putting Cooper Kupp and JSN into, receiving the ball underneath. Those are not his strengths. But he wowed the fans and impressed the fans doing the bits that he won't necessarily be doing to fit his skill set. He'll be the perimeter guy, the field stretcher. He'll be the deep threat. He'll be, the guy that's expected to track the ball over his shoulder into the bucket. That's where he will fit into this roster in his round peg, round hole scenario. What he impressed people doing was something he'd only be asked to do in the event of injuries during the season. So he's shown a bit of versatility and looked really good doing it. So, and also the punt return I mentioned earlier, in the preseason, he is a specialist at it. I know he only returned for about 5 yards, but he looked really threatening and clean in the way he did it. He showed really good technique. So, yeah, I'm very happy.
His touchdown, the wiggle between two defenders and the spin around one other was just it was cinema for a rookie to have the confidence to do that and just find the space. He did have his punt return as well. His punt return, you look at how he moved just to find that space, to fight for those extra yards. And it wasn't through like brute force like you get from a DK Metcalf. It was pure wiggle and agility.
Yeah. And
it was fantastic to see. Here we go. There's a nice one from Stuart here. Pinball Tory. It's true.
Loved it.
It wasn't smash mouth. It was athletic football that got him over into the end zone. And it was so nice to see. So nice.
Yeah. He looked really crisp doing it as well. I think sometimes when people receive the ball and try to get a bit of yards after the catch, they can look a little bit laboured, fearing contact, bouncing off people, needing to rely upon some contact balance and things. He seemed to just take it, turn in stride, avoid being in range of those tackles, and just he just did it so crisply and cleanly. It was lovely to see. Looked like a veteran doing that, and it was Baldwin-esque.
I was going to say, as Danny said, Baldwin-esque. It was so nice to see, and it seems to have been. I mean, years ago, as we had Baldwin, you had Lockett, who used to be able to do that before he started catching the ball and just flopping on the floor, which understandable. But we've not really had wide receivers that did that. And now we seem to have one who's got that wiggle, got the guile. He's not afraid to turn his back on someone to try and get past them. He'll put a spin move on and open that up, which is it's beautiful to see. I'll be honest. I am all aboard the Tory Horton train. Choo choo,
choo choo.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing where he sits in this depth chart now, because if he keeps showing out like this, I think MVS is going to be looking over his shoulder constantly.
Well, that's a nice segue into just a little bit of chatter about Kansas City, because is this now where MVS trots out as the wide receiver 3 on the perimeter? Are we going to suddenly start seeing that? Or is it going to be a shared time with Tory Horton in this preseason? I mean, they probably will want to get a look at MVS before they cut him. If they are already thinking about Tory Horton taking that role as wide receiver 3, they may want to have an extended look at MVS in the system just to make sure they're not cutting someone that genuinely is our best option.
I mean, if we're looking at this system, and this has been touted around by a lot of people, let's play the who's your wide receiver. So let's say this year we keep 5 because we keep more tight ends and running backs. You've got Kupp, JSN, I think Horton's in there as well. 2 roster spots left. Who would you pick?
Jake Bobo makes the list for me. And it's then the question of, do you take MVS for the scheme familiarity, the veteran savvy in that room, the fact that he's just fit for purpose for the scheme, at the cost of potentially losing a talented young wide receiver on the waivers if you cut. So I think MVS probably does
Ricky
make
White's
it
there as well.
Yeah, Ricky White's there, Cody White as well.
I think MVS
options.
is
Tariq
he's
Young
a
had a good.
dimension.
Tariq Young had a good game as well.
DK Metcalf 2.0. DK Metcalf from Wish.
Yeah, Broden Jr. there, Stuart giving the shout out.
Yeah. And we've got, so as we've opened this up, Rich, Bobo on his blocking ability gets in. Yeah. Stuart, despite Horton's rise, I'd be surprised if MVS gets cut. He plays the take the top off role well. Could see him being supplanted as season goes on. Yep, completely agree. Bobo and MVS will be in there as 4 and 5. Danny, JSN Cup, Horton, Bobo, MVS. Stuart's put Broden in there as well. Jonas has got JSN Cup, Horton, MVS, and Bobo as well. And Gary thinks Broden's going to be practice squad. Yeah, I think that's kind of the consensus. But again, I think we have to look at cuts. We said this off air, where it's getting to that point where after game 2, some teams start cutting. And then after game 3, what other cuts are going to be there? So is there going to be a wide receiver on the market?
Could well be. We're going to find out. I don't think we'll be looking to move any of our roster space into wide receiver room, running back room, and possibly even offensive line room. I think any space we've got on the roster, picking up players from cuts or trading for players that are on the bubble and may not make rosters, will go into the linebacker room, possibly edge, possibly corner. I can't see any other areas that we'd be confident to move the money into. So we'll see.
And you've got Ben said wide receiver still missing elite speed. Agreed, but then do you need that based on scheme? As long as you've got one player that can take the top off and draw, say, a cornerback and a deep safety to open up some space, that's going to be the main thing, whether he catches it or not. Hi, by the way, Ben. Nice to join us. But yeah, Tory Horton, I think that is going to be a conversation that we'll be having a lot this year. I'm looking forward to having 12s on the pod who start to wax the lyrical about him as well and give us their opinions. Shall we quickly, before we move on to the upcoming Chiefs game, shall we just do a little bit of news around training camp? Who's been showing out, who people are talking about? Let's do a really quick recap of the signings and releases for August. So far we've placed AJ Finley on IR. We've released Seth Coleman, signed Michael Dowell, and so that was linebacker Michael Dowell and long snapper Zach Triner. That was on the 4th of August. Then we've released running back Donovan Kaufman on the 5th and signed running back Anthony Tyus. And then on the 6th, we waived Monte Foster Jr. and signed Seth Coleman. The 11th, we released Cam Alexander, cornerback, and we signed Alfonso Tupatala, who was a Husky. Thank you. But we've finally got some South Seattle flavour. I'm all about it.
You'd like that. Yep.
There you go. And then today we released Michael Dowell, so he was here for a long time. And then we signed another fullback in Wesley Steiner. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Mitch, because I really wanted to say it live on the pod. What do you think of these moves?
I don't care. Well, I know. I will say one thing.
Where's the really insightful?
I don't care. No. I will care. I will care when I see them play. There's not enough at this point. There's not enough to get excited about. There's there's not enough really for me to get sad about when some of these guys get cut, because we often people come into camp, they leave camp without playing more than a couple of snaps, and it just isn't worth the headache.
Yeah, because Danny can't type, he means sit on the fence.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's a few in there. Tyus had a really good game, I thought, against the Raiders. So we have a bit of context there. Someone who came in, showed out, loved that. But so few of these players actually make the roster that I don't want to get too emotionally attached. So realistically, this season I'm just going, show me what you got in the game. I don't want to go too far into it.
Agree.
I will say Connor O'Toole, we didn't mention it earlier, only sack in the game. And we spoke about him relatively at length when Jonas was on the show.
Yeah.
As an intriguing prospect to bulk out our edge rush group. I thought when he played the other night, he looked really good. And Jared Ivey as well. And I know that's most people's like roster decision. Is it Ivey or is it Connor O'Toole that makes this roster? Ivey was extremely stout against the run. He was a big part of why the run just never got established against us in that game. And Connor O'Toole was the only person to come out of that game in a Seahawks jersey with a sack. So they've both strengthened their claim and made that headache just a little bit more potent, I think.
I think the way the coaches speak about Jared Ivey every time training camp comes up, I can really see him garnering a roster spot. I don't know why. I think it's one of those, like, you look at his production in college, you look at the fact he was undrafted, they look at him and go, we can do something with this, and it's cheap as chips. I genuinely think that he might be one that we keep. I mean, I've just pulled up the Alfonso Tuputala's sort of 2024 numbers. They're not great. You know, as a linebacker, 43 solo tackles, 38 assisted tackles, 1 pass defense, and 3.5 sacks. Not well-beaten numbers, are they?
No, it's nice enough, though. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. We've got 2 more preseason games to watch, and people can really sort of come into their own here and make things difficult.
Yeah. For anyone who's joining us now, thank you so much. If you've come in later, you can catch this on a replay. If you've not already, please feel free, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit like on this video. It really helps us to reach more 12s, which means if we reach more 12s, we can have more 12s come on and talk with us about the Seahawks during the season. And if you want to talk to us and other 12s that follow the 12 Talk podcast, you can join the Discord. Mitch has put the link in the comments already, but I'm pretty sure we'll put it in there again for you. And they're just 12s from all around the world, and we absolutely love having everyone in there. So training camp, we're basically at the end of it now. I think we've had Jared Ivey's been on people's lips. They talk of Mike Morris. You've got Tank Lawrence, who Mike McDonald said is the best practicing player he's ever seen or coached, which is great. But Jalen Milroe obviously improving all the time. Who we got on the defensive side? The nose tackle debate, because they're being a bit secretive about when Hankins is coming back.
Yeah,
so
Petey's making a case for himself.
Yeah. And then you've got who's the other fella? That was it, the Cowboys. I can't remember his name now. Until it's getting late in the UK. No. It's all right. It'll come to us. That or someone in the comments is going to put it up there. If not, come on. But
Bohanna.
Bohanna. There you go, Quentin Bohanna. So there's 2 that I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes, depending on where Hankins is fitness-wise. If it's going to be, it seems like Hankins is a long-term injury. So says Rich. So that might be. It's going to be up for grabs there. So I mean, by way of training camp, I think we've all been following it. We don't want to just go over the same old stuff. And your questions we will answer. We've literally got one more bit that we're going to go through, and that's what we want to see when it comes to this Chiefs game. But before we do that, we are proud supporters of the Robbing Cancer Trust. If you're in the UK, especially if you're in Essex, they're currently doing Pants for Cancer. You get to walk around in some red undies, preferably red. I thought it was quite apt with, the Chiefs playing in red, so we get the Robbing Cancer Trust in there, so a bit of a segue. But yeah, it's at Clacton Pier. It's 7 or 14 miles, £10 per adult, and it's £5 for under 18. So you can join them, help raise money and awareness for testicular and ovarian cancer. And Toby is still doing his big ballsy run. I've updated this now. He's raised £18,228.20. He's slightly off his target, but he has run an astonishing 637.2 kilometers doing this. I think my legs would be worn down to nubs. I genuinely do. If you've been affected by this as well, he does have a podcast called Thrive Against Cancer. You can find it on Spotify. And if you want to support them, by all means, head over to their merch shop. I've got one of these red T-shirts here. I need to get one for Mitch as well. And, the ever diminishing Mitch. And then we can both be rocking those. So, make sure you go and support the RCT wherever you can. Even if it's just a little donation. It helps them massively just to raise awareness for their campaigns. So, and thank you, Gary. Kudos to Toby. Next time I see him, I am going to, I'll be honest, I've known Toby for a long time. I'm probably going to give him a slap on the leg. And be like, how are you holding up, mate? But yeah, so the Chiefs game. What do we want to see?
No injuries.
What was everyone watching? No injuries. That's number one, obviously. Is there anything else you really want to see from this game besides a win?
I want to see Darnold play Q1. I want to see two Darnold drives. I want to see JSN and Cooper Kupp. I want to see what this muscular, highly explosive looking version of Ken Walker looks like. Okay. Yeah. I'd like to see our D-line because we went the entirety, we went nearly the entirety of the game against the Raiders without seeing a sack. I kind of want to see Leonard Williams out there wreaking havoc and, Jaron Reed and Derek Hall off the edge and Boyer Maffei and Tank Lawrence. I'm just looking forward to that. D-line for me is so watchable. So give me some Darnold. Give me some Darnold stuff, good or bad. Just give us something to get our teeth into, and let's go out there and dominate with our D-line and just rip someone to bits. Give me a bit of that.
I like it. One comment here, and I have to address it because I was up this morning till 2 a.m. watching the New Heights podcast, and I messaged Mitch about it this morning. There was something like 1.8 million watching it last night, and the video now is at, oh my god, I don't even think there's enough people in the world to accommodate this. It was millions. It was at something like 4 or 8 million. I can't remember, but it was ridiculous, which got me thinking, are there any UK Seahawkers that are celebrities? If anyone knows any, let us know.
I thought you were going to say, does anyone have Taylor Swift's number? Because we could get some serious viewage
down before anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thought was just insane. The fact that I was up till 2 o'clock watching it, and it's highly entertaining. But yeah, that's just ridiculous numbers. One day, Mitch. One day we'll get there.
What, get Taylor Swift on?
No, just anywhere near those numbers.
Okay.
So, anything else you'd really like to see?
Yeah, I don't care about the win. I just want to see. I want to see our starters, so we've got some conversation points. We can, remind ourselves just how good Leonard Williams is. But then I also want to see us get to the second half of the game and see some consistent good performances from some of the standouts from the Raiders game. Really keen to see Jacardia Wright again. Really keen to see Halani. I want to see how our O-line shapes up. Like, what is our starting O-line in that game as well?
This actually leads very well into a question we got from Peter. Oh, yeah. How do you two see the centre shaking out, Olu or Sundell? I've been a massive fan of Olu since we drafted him. He's an award-winning centre. Yep. But I think in this scheme, athleticism is going to be a premium. And we should have mentioned this with the training camp segment. They love Sundell. He won their off-season strength and conditioning award. He just seems to slot in anywhere. He's just got that mentality of wherever you put me, I'm going to do everything I can to stop everyone getting to the quarterback. And I think I personally think you're going to be looking at, and this is my opinion, Cross, Zabel, Sundell, don't kick me, Bradford, and Lucas. I know. And that is probably the face a lot of people pulled. But based on, you can see Bradford's changed his body shape. He looks less like blancmange. I don't know if they've got those in the US. But he's less top heavy around the middle. And he's just more top heavy where it matters. He's still got the bulk. But I think he's really worked on his fitness. He's really worked on his game recognition. That he's working out with the ones throughout most of training camp at the moment, which does lead me to think that the Haynes pick is a bit wasted. I think Haynes is going to need some serious coaching over this season. What's your opinion?
I just hope you're not right about Haynes. I think there's an open scenario. There's an open situation where he can come in and claim a spot and not be a bust in that draft. But that would require you to be wrong. And don't know how I feel about that. Actually, no, I know how I feel about it. I want you to be wrong. Yeah, we'll celebrate you being wrong next. In a few weeks. No, you're fine. But no, I do think you're right in that we should be shouting out about Anthony Bradford. He didn't look fit for the kind of scheme we're going to be running, and there's a clear effort to mold himself into a style of lineman that would fit this scheme. So hats off to him for making those efforts. This is professional sports, so you should expect it. But, there is clearly a dedication and commitment to making that work. And it means that there is no easy in for Haynes, but he needs to work for it too. So does he have the same level of drive and commitment to be a fit? Well, we're going to see.
I feel a bit gutted for LeMayer because over the off-season, he was training with Abe Lucas. I think that was with an aim of getting in tandem with him to play that right guard spot. So you could very well see a Haynes-LeMayer, battle there for that backup right guard, which will be interesting. Personally, for this game, I want to see, like you, Darnold for at least first quarter. Mm-hmm. And then I want to see Milroe for the rest of it. Ooh. Or in fact, no, I'll see Milroe for the second and third, and then chuck Drew Lock in at the end when people are tired and could fall on legs. I want to see. I want to see, like you said, our starting D line. I want to see our starting defense, top to bottom. I want to see a quarter of that and see exactly what we're going to be dealing with. Obviously, Mike won't open the full defensive playbook, neither will Dirty. But I want to see how devastating it could be and how locked down it can be as well.
I agree.
Do you want to do a score prediction? Are we brave enough? It's pre-season, it doesn't really matter.
I don't want to do 2 episodes.
84-79.
I don't want to say I don't care twice in an episode.
Oh, fair enough.
But genuinely, the result is the last thing on my mind. I just want to see performances from players getting a chance, and I want to see as few injuries as we can get out of there with. Those are the things that I want to see. Oh, and I'll tell you one more thing I want to see. I want to see lots of bums on seats in our Discord watching it with us. We had five people watching with us for the Raiders game. We could do better than that. It's Friday night over to Saturday morning if you're in Europe, or it's Friday night game prime time if you're in the States. Get in Discord, get in there with me and Jonas, and watch the game with us. That's what I want to see.
I would happily be on there, but I've got literally all of my family coming to my town on Saturday, and then I've got a wedding party to go to Saturday evening, so I don't really want to be as tired as I am today after watching that Taylor Swift thing. So there you go, Danny. That answers your question. Anyone getting or staying up for the Kansas game, get in the Discord and you can watch it live with Mitch, Jonas, and a host of others. So shall we try and get to some of these questions and comments?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you been keeping an eye on them?
I've seen some stuff. I've seen some things.
I've seen stuff and things. Let's have a quick look through. So again, thank you so much to everyone. Mitch, I'll let you scroll through them. I'll do the talky bit now. Okay. So if you haven't already, like I said, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video. This live really helps us. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all those good things. Really, really, really helps us. We're not monetized, but we just like having everyone on board giving us their feedback. So you can leave a comment when this is past live, when you're watching it back, or you can leave a comment on Spotify and Apple now. Give us a rating. That helps too. Let's push ourselves up the algorithm. Let's get more people up there. Gary's back. Hope the Seahawks find someone else to punt return. Want Horton to just play wide receiver, please. Well, I think that's Ricky White. That was one of the reasons we drafted him. But I don't know if he's got a niggle at the moment.
I think he was out there for the Raiders game. So.
Wonder what's happening there then.
Did we have this one up on screen earlier?
Oh, no, Jonas, remember that the Seahawks still have Barnett, Oops, Arroyo, Walker, and Charbonnet as receiving options as well. There's no need for a wide receiver 6 with a fullback and a quarterback 3 on the roster. Completely agree.
Yeah, I think that was a really good thing to throw in there when we're talking about wide receiver 5 maybe being the bubble. They'll be receiving threats outside of wide receivers. So I like this one. This was a good take from Peter. Tory Horton ran a 4.41 40-yard dash off an LCL injury and might be near elite if he had been healthy. I think that you shouldn't be really considering that 4.41 anymore. He was clocking 4.3s prior to his injury, so I really don't. And he's clocked one since. So as far as I'm concerned, he is elite speed. So I think that's a good. I think
this is where that toss up between him and MVS comes. Yeah, but I think he's got the youth and the wiggle and more reliable hands on his side.
Yeah. Jonas in with this one as well, with Pritchett showing up at CB, and with the wide receivers also producing. The only room he has concerns about is the linebacker room. There's also comments in the chat there about Tyrese Knight's injury and how serious that is, and we were a thin linebacker room with Tyrese Knight healthy and available. So could not agree more with this comment. I think linebacker would be where I'd be looking to pick up some cut players over the next few weeks or trades.
I completely agree.
Right.
Got any more?
Anything else starred? Like this from Danny, very recent. Put Reek and Horton in a race. That will separate the men from the boys. Yeah, that is fun. Jonas just said about putting Halani as a returner potentially. That would be interesting. That's
McIntosh was there before his injury.
Yeah.
So
yeah, quite like that.
It makes sense. It would make complete sense. I mean, with that, I think we yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's joined us. Like I said, I'm going to put it out there again. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, like this live. Do it. I can see there's 78 of you watching. I don't know what platforms you're on, but
click it.
See you. Just click it. So one little click for you, massive help for us to steal everyone else's line. Join the Discord. You can click the link that is in the comments. It's also in the description down below because we are prepared. And if you want to try out Flying V, hit them up. Their link for their Shopify is in the description down below. Use the code 12talk at checkout. Get 20% off your order. That is massive, especially when you think that some of the vintage clothes, some of them are cheap anyway. So you'll get a fantastic deal out of that. But I just want to say again, thank you very much, Mitch. Have you enjoyed yourself tonight? It's been nice to see you again, mate. I've missed your lovely face.
It's been a lovely face.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's been great. It's been great to be back. I missed your face as well. I think there'll be plenty more coming from us, obviously, because sorry, I just dropped something on the floor. Plenty more coming from us because the games are going to come thick and fast. So it won't need to feel like so long. But yeah, it has been brilliant to be back, and I've really appreciated so much contribution from the chat as well. They've been really good.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. Don't forget you can follow us on all forms of social media. We're out there at 12talk pod on X, Insta, Blue Sky, TikTok. We've got a Facebook group as well. Don't forget, if you want to join the UK Seahawkers, you can follow them on Facebook. The link for theirs is down here as well. We're just all about the links. And if you do want to get in contact with us, slide into our DMs, jump into the Discord, and we will see you after the Chiefs game. And at some point as well, we've still got a quiz that I spent a long time putting together. So that needs to come together as well. And it'll be interactive with everyone watching. We'll have two teams. I'll be the quiz master, and you guys can play along as well. But from me, from Mitch, I just want to end this with a massive Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.